What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we've got a Chicago Bulls and Portland Trail Blazers game reaction, in which the Chicago Bulls picked up a pretty much a well-needed but yet standard victory on their season. At the end of the day, Portland with their best players would have definitely provided a little bit more of a challenge for the Chicago Bulls in this game, without a shadow of a doubt. But Portland did not bring their best players to the table. Some of them are due to injuries. I believe personally some of them are due to tactical decisions, knowing that maybe they're not going to compete for the play-in and try to go a little bit further down in the pecking order to get a better pick. Whatever the case may be, whatever the reason is behind the decisions that Portland made for their players, the team that they provided out there was simply a team that the Bulls had to beat, and thankfully the right outcome ended up taking place. Thankfully the Bulls walked away with a win. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and whether or not you believe that this is a win that can carry over momentum into probably more difficult challenges ahead for the Chicago Bulls. We won this game 124-96, and look, I'm not going to call this an easy game, because I don't want to disrespect Portland's first half performance. They were very, very tight for most of the game in that first half, and the Bulls really ran away with it in the third quarter and the fourth quarter of those games. So I'm not going to sit here and say this was an easy performance or that there was no problems whatsoever, but what I will say is the lineup that they provided and the lineup that we provided, I think everybody could see the Bulls were expected to win that game. The right outcome came to place. The worst case scenario was if we would have lost to this Portland team, it probably would have been the worst loss of our season. And again, it's just as simple as that. I just believe it was a standard win for the Chicago Bulls, a win that everybody expected to get and a win that the Bulls got. And I'm just happy with the performance. I can't say this game didn't matter for the Bulls. It absolutely did. We're trying to compete for a play-in spot. We want to sit in that 10th and climb to the 9th spot in the Eastern Conference. These are the games you have to win to do it. Out west, we've won 4 out of 5 away games and things of that nature. You've got to put respect on these wins. It may not be the funnest game to watch. For some people it might have been 124 points, but again, the competition wasn't necessarily that great. So some people might argue this was a boring game to watch. Some people might say this was the funnest game they've ever watched. But whatever the case may be, the most important thing is to take the wins when you can get them. Again, we can't control what Portland brings to the table, but we can control our own performances, and I'll take that as a great win for the Chicago Bulls. And I'm a big fan of Portland. Again, I've always said it. Damian Lillard's one of my favorite players. I wish he had played today, but it is what it is. You can't really reflect on these things when you're trying to compete for a play-in spot, and you just got to move on into that next game. The next game's out in LA. Try to get some wins in LA. That would be huge for this Bulls team if we can do it with not many games to go. With that in mind, let's look at the individual performances. We got the win without DeMar DeRozan as well. That is extremely nice to see. And that boy Sharp on Portland's team, that man is He's going to do some great things for Portland. I'm very, very excited to see his development. He put a couple of our guys on posters, some highlight reels and stuff. Yeah, very, very, very good player. But again, looking at the Bulls' individual performances, let's start off with Alex Caruso, who had his return today. He had 6 points and 1 assist on the night, 2 from 2 from the field, 1 from 1 from the three-point line. So not too much else to say in relation to Alex Caruso. In all honesty, a standard performance on his return. Excited to see him return, and in my opinion, he's one of those guys that I'm worried about getting injured again. We have around 2 weeks until the end of the season, and then the play-in games come to light, and then potential playoff games come to light. I am worried at that time that Alex Caruso could get hurt before then. And that's just based on the fact that he has been hurt so many times this season. Thankfully, they're all minor. Nowhere near as bad as last year, but still a problem for the Chicago Bulls, if I have to say. And I just hope that we can continue to see a healthy Alex Caruso come to this Bulls team, because I do think in the starting lineup, for certain games, he works very, very well. Other games, he does disappoint. And I think we do need him regardless of whether he disappoints or he plays extremely well, because his defense is a must on this team. So excited about that. Let's see what he can do in the future. Patrick Williams had 10 points and 3 rebounds with 1 steal and 3 blocks on the night. I've noticed a trend about Patrick Williams. He does seem to be getting a lot more blocks than, I guess, coming into his rookie season and his second season. I just think recently he's been getting a lot more blocks, but we can't sit here and say that was an amazing game from him. 3 from 13 from the field, 2 from 4 from the three-point line. That's not too bad. He got a very mean block put on him by Sharp again. I would say, again, not the best Patrick Williams performance, but I wouldn't say it's the worst either. To see him take, what was it, 13 or 12 shots on the night, I mean, that's something that, again, most nights, if he takes those amount of shots and he's a little bit more efficient, which we know he can be, that's obviously a great night for Patrick Williams. But continue being aggressive, and I think good things will come for Patrick Williams. I've said it all the time, and I will say it now as well. Moving into the next performer, we've got Nikola Vucevic. He had 23 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal on the night. I mean, look, again, Portland didn't really have a center out there, did they? Again, they played fairly small. Vucevic had the mismatch on all of them. He used his experience on all of them, and he got some great shots as well. And you can tell that the priority was to attack the paint when Vucevic only took 1 3-point shot in this game. And he made the 3-point shot as well, so that definitely helps. So yeah, I'll say a very good performance from Nikola Vucevic. I think his last 2 games, maybe not the Philly game, maybe the first Philly game, he's played well. He's got 20 points in both of those games, double-doubles in both of those games. So yeah, you take that if you're the Chicago Bulls, and hopefully that momentum can build over into the next couple of games, which we will need for sure. Zach Levine, 33 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists with 1 block. The commentators for the Bulls basically said this is the easiest 30-point game you will ever see Zach Levine score. I've got to be honest, I agree with them. It felt like everything was fairly, I guess, it moved smoothly for Zach Levine. Things just went swimmingly for him. There wasn't massive paint protection for Portland, so that led to a lot of open lanes and a lot of open drives. And he has been fairly consistent from the 3-point line for the Chicago Bulls in recent times. So yeah, very, very easy 30-point performance for Zach Levine, but he did more than just that. 8 assists for Zach Levine. That just amplifies his game much more than what we saw again maybe in other games before that. It's one of the better games Zach Levine's had this season because of his ability to do multiple things on the floor. Very, very solid night for Zach Levine. Patrick Beverly, 4 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. Again, not the best from the offensive end, only 1 from 1 from 5, my apologies, from the field, 0 from 2 from the 3-point line. And I would just say this, he does fill the stats in multiple areas. 4 points on the board, 6 rebounds for a point guard is very, very nice. 4 assists, very, very solid. I think that's above his average. And the steals and the blocks just shows that he is a solid defender for this team. He does fill the stat sheet in multiple areas. He has a very good plus-minus, as do most of the Bulls players on this team. But yeah, what I will say is we can see more, and I'm expecting more efficiency from Patrick Beverly, I would say. That's really all I'm going to say on that situation. I just think that's probably the biggest weakness and liability to his game. He's a great rebounder, we know that. He's improved his playmaking with more ball handling responsibilities, we know that. He's obviously a very good defender, we know that. But he's not efficient in offense, and I think that's where the biggest area of improvement can be. You see nights where he has 16 points, 4 from 5 from the 3-point line, and just phenomenal. We've seen those performances from Patrick Beverly. So again, I would describe his offensive game very similar to Alex Caruso's offensive game. When they're playing well, it's extremely well. It's extremely positive, and it's very much well-needed offense. When they're not playing well, you can see the inconsistency in their offense. That's how I see it. Andre Drummond, 2 points and 8 rebounds, 1 steal and 1 block. He is, I believe, the only player on this team that had a negative plus-minus. I'm not going to take too much away from that, but again, if you look at the performances of everybody else on this team and then you look at Andre Drummond, you can clearly tell he didn't have the best performance, and he hasn't had the best performances in a while. Now, I'm not going to give anybody the must improve on this team, I'll give you that for a spoiler, but if there was one person I absolutely had to pick, I think you know where I'm going to go with it. And we need to see better from Andre Drummond in the future. I think for the amount of minutes that he played, he took 1 3-point shot, and he was 1 from 6 from the field. So yeah, I think we could see better, in all honesty. That's just honestly what I believe. Moving into the next one, Kobe White. What a great game from Kobe White once again. I'm very, very glad that people are starting to really turn around their opinions on Kobe White. And I'm one of those people. Again, I can't lie and say that I never had thoughts in my mind about trading him. I've mentioned it publicly on this channel. But again, his performances as of late all season defensively and energy-wise has really made me come around to wanting to keep him more and more. And this game, again, just sets another example of that. 19 points, 4 rebounds, and 9 assists with 2 steals on the night. 7 from 9 from the field, 4 from 5 from the three-point line. What I will say about Coby White, and something that I very much thought helped him in this game, is that I don't think there was major threats in the game. Again, if I think the pressure of a game, for example, if we were versing Milwaukee in this game, I don't expect Coby White to have that stat line, put it that way, because there would be a lot more pressure towards Coby White. When there's no pressure, when the Bulls are just comfortable the whole game, or at least for half of the game, and basically the shots don't really mean much. If it goes in, fantastic, great. But if it doesn't go in, then all of a sudden you might see a little bit of a worse game from someone like Coby White. But again, I'm not going to really go too deep into those categories. I very much enjoy his 9 assists. That's where I take the most positive stuff away from Coby White. When the guy's close to a double-double effort and 9 assists on the night, that's fantastic from Coby. And that's well above his average. So very, very proud of the 9 assists for Coby. Moving into Derrick Jones Jr., he had an 8.2 rebound and 2 assists with 2 block performance. Again, another good performance for him. I think you can clearly see why he's getting more minutes than Andre Drummond. I still prioritize the bigger centers. I always will. I just think that's how my brain is wired. That's what I've been known ever since I've been growing up watching the NBA. Small ball in the sense of a Derrick Jones Jr. type player, I think causes a lot of problems for us. But there's no denying that he's playing better than Andre Drummond. There's no denying that he's playing great in general, and that's why he's getting the minutes. And that's just how it is. And that's how it should be as well. If you play better than your competition in the team, you should play more minutes. Even if it causes some problems on the other end, well, at the end of the day, the other guy has to step up. And Andre Drummond, if he wants to get more minutes on this team, has to step up. I have no problems with that at this point in time. But we'll wait and see how things go in the future. Ayo Dosunmu, 13 points, 1 rebound, and 2 assists on the night. 5 from 8 from the field, 3 from 4 from the three-point line. Unfortunately, he got dunked on today. Again, by Sharp. All the highlights seem to come from him in this game. But Ayo had a very solid game, I would say. One of the better games you expect Ayo to see. Again, double-digit in points. The last 2 games, I believe. Oh, again, one of the games against Philly, one of the games here. I think he had double-digit points. Yeah, nice to see. And we need to see more of it for sure. Keep being aggressive, keep attacking the paint, but also showing other areas of your game, like the three-point shot, which he made, I believe, 3 three-pointers today. So that's extremely positive from Ayo. And Dalen Terry, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Again, happy to see Dalen Terry get 17 minutes and produce in those minutes. Stuff the stat sheet, ladies and gentlemen. 6 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists for a rookie. On a guy that barely plays as well, getting 17 minutes, I'll take that from Dalen Terry. Plus, he's a very good energizer, very good defensive player. Extremely positive and happy to see Dalen Terry get those amount of minutes. And yeah, when he plays, I enjoy it. I'm not going to lie. I enjoy the youthfulness. I enjoy his energy. I enjoy what kind of attitude he brings to the table. Very, very, very happy with that performance. Our next game, actually no, the player of the game, my apologies, would be Zach Levine. Again, a 33 point and 8 assist performance is something that I simply can't ignore as a person. I loved Coby White's performance. I thought Ayo had a great game. Vucevic was outstanding. But again, I just can't turn away from Zach Levine in this game. That was a great game from him. And yeah, very, very enjoyable to watch. Our next game is against the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I'm going to show the time of this game because it's an absolute nightmare of a time for me. This does not reflect on the time from people in the United States, depending on where you are. This is a time frame from Australia. This game is at 6:30 in the morning. Are you crazy? That's unbelievable, and I'm going to talk more about it on the Bulls Weekly episode that I'll provide, but my goodness, that's a living nightmare of a game for me. I do not want to wake up at 6:30 to watch a Bulls game, and again, I guess I'm going to have to suck it up, aren't I? But that's a living nightmare. And look, I know there are people out there that wake up much later or earlier, whatever the case may be, to watch a Bulls game, so I will do the same, but man, oh my, what a nightmare of a game that could be. But anyway, it is what it is. We move on into the next one, but I'll end this video here. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. The most important thing, whether, again, I have to suck it up, stuff like that, I hope I suck it up and the Bulls win. Because if I'm going to wake up at 6:30 and the Bulls lose that game, I'm going to be cranky. I don't think I'm going to be able to do the game reaction right afterwards, just because I think I have uni on the day that obviously the game is played. By the time the game is finished, I'll have to travel to uni. But nevertheless, it's still going to be a very disappointing game if the Bulls drop it. So don't drop it. Simple as that. Pick up the win. Much needed game. Again, have a wonderful and safe day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.